Crawfordsville Peach Cast hosted by Dave Peach. The Peach Cast is sponsored by Central Indiana Rubber Products, Power for You.
Crawfordsville Peach Cast. I'm Dave Peach, joined by Dave Meyer. Dave, how are you?
I'm excited, Dave, as always, to be alongside, to talk about movies and to talk about life, Dave.
We do. It is Untoasted. We will talk up Absolute Power, 1997. Movie number 56. We are sponsored by Central Indiana Rubber. Hello, Todd.
1, 2, 3.
Hello, Todd.
Hello,
See,
Todd.
I'm being cantankerous. I'm in a cantankerous mood. So,
He's cantankerous.
So cue me up on the hello, Todd. Just count me down from 3.
3, 2.
Hello,
1.
Todd.
Hello. Oh, dang. He did it again, kids.
I know. This is terrible.
Just set him up. You set me up, though.
I promise.
Okay.
I won't do it again. I promise.
Okay. I am
Give me the
Lucy
countdown. Give me the countdown.
with the football, the 3, 2, 1 count. 3, 2, 1.
Hello,
Hello,
Todd. We're on Google. We're not on Zoom. I don't like it.
Yeah. It feels weird, Dave. It may be the Zoom. We may be talking about this in a few years. The day Zoom blew up.
Yeah, something happened there. I don't know, but we're doing okay.
We're okay.
We're running late. It's one of those deals. But we've got a great movie. It's got a lot of stuff in it. It's got a lot of people in it.
Yeah, a lot of big names from that era that had been big names for a while, and some. Did you catch the person from The Office that is in this movie?
No. See, I was going down a lot of other rabbit holes, as they say,
Okay.
and we'll talk about the movie Absolute Power, 1997, with Clint Eastwood and Gene Hackman and Dennis Haysbert and Scott Glenn and Judy Davis and Ed Harris and E.G. Marshall and Laura Linney. Oh, it just goes on and on and on.
It's a big cast of big time actors, well known faces, and it's taken from a David Baldacci novel. It's a twisty, turny kind of hello movie.
Yeah, we don't know how many people are after this super thief. Super thief. He's a super thief.
He's a super thief, people.
I was trying to come up with a catchy name. Super thief.
Super thief.
Master of disguise.
Master super thief.
Old guy. Super thief just doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
No. Master thief sounds better, I guess.
Bodacious bandit.
Yes, that's hip.
Yeah. I could. This movie, it's got Gene Hackman in it, and you can't help but think about Gene Hackman and what happened to Gene Hackman, and it. Every time you read another article about Gene Hackman's life and his latter days, it gets worse and worse.
Yeah, they can. I kind of thought, like, I know we just got recently. They just let out the body cam footage of the officers that first entered. It's like, at what point will it continue to be a story? Because like it went about 2 to 3 weeks, I think, maybe a month, without a lot, and now we're back in it again.
Yeah.
So,
and let's bring on our expert on these matters, Herm Harlow. Herm, what do you make of the latest information that has been? They've always got an expert. It doesn't matter what it is. They've always got an expert. Yeah. They're going to bring in the expert. They talk about it. The person looks in the camera very sternly, and authorities have released new details. And then that person's over, and then Sue comes back on and says, "Now we've got an expert. We've got an expert, and here's the expert. Maybe there's 2 experts."
There may be 2.
Dueling experts.
All I know, Dave, I've never heard so much about rodent droppings. Yeah, and
hey,
where all they
everybody.
can be, and
that's not the way to go. Not the way.
No, it's
not
a
the
great
way you
name
want
of
to
a
go.
band, though.
No.
If you're going to start a punk band in 2025, rodent droppings.
Ugh.
Not bad.
Well, Absolute Power, Gene Hackman, the heavy of heaviest, the heavy guy, We'll talk about it next on the Crawfordsville Peachcast. Central Indiana Rubber Products provides the power for you. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, keeps farm equipment and local manufacturing processes running with gaskets, belts, seals, and O-rings, among a variety of other products and services. Employee-owned and always customer-focused. Central Indiana Rubber Products, 989 West, 83 North, Crawfordsville, and at indianarubber.com. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, power for you. Absolute Power, 1997. Dave, I'm going to ask you a question of the 56.
Okay.
This is movie number 56.
Wow, that's a lot of movies, Dave.
Now, you tell me how many of those 56 have been in the late 90s?
Ooh, okay. I want to say it's a significant percentage, but I don't want to go too crazy. 56.
It's a number. Let me just give you a hint, Dave. It's a number between 1 and 56.
Dave, I'm going early 30s. I'm going to take 33 to block, Dave.
33? 33 in the late 90s? Are you
Dave,
have you been doing these?
56
Have you been doing these movies? What?
So okay, so 12?
Late 90s. Well, I thought it was significant at 7.
Wow. Okay, I was going hot, Dave. I was going very hot.
Wow.
I guess, you know what? Yeah, exactly. You throw in a couple of Godzillas here and there, we're way out of the 90s.
Yeah, okay, so here we go.
7 movies.
Here we go.
That's okay. So an eighth of our total.
12.5, that's good. We've had from 1999, Dick and Blast from the Past.
Okay,
From
yes.
1998, Almost Heroes, which was probably the worst of all the 56.
It's still in the top 2 or 3 as far as the drain. Yes.
Dirty Work, which was also
Which is pretty down there.
Bullworth, 1998 as well.
That was
Bullworth.
8. That's in the zone.
And 96, City Hall.
City Hall, another with a big cast of stars.
Al Pacino. And this movie, I hope that's 7, Absolute Power. Now, I got to tell you, at the beginning of this movie, it was, hey, she looks awfully familiar.
Yes, Dave.
Her name is Melora Hardin.
Correctamundo.
And her character was Christy Sullivan.
Yes.
And I got to say, this lady is known for not being around long. She was Trudy Monk in the show Monk. And of course, what put Monk over the edge was Trudy's death. And I don't think they ever solved Trudy's death, or maybe they
No.
I think
that was the long running.
Yeah, I think that was it. But she appears in flashback episodes and such. But Melora Hardin. Now, are you ready for more Melora Hardin? Who's named Melora?
Melora. I know it's a funky name.
That's a
Dave.
great name, Melora.
It's a great name. Yes. No, tell me more.
Okay, in 2005, Melora Hardin played Linda Evans in the movie Dynasty: The Making of a Guilty Pleasure. Did you see this one in 2005?
Dave, we got to find that to just know that it's out there. But no, I missed it.
Melora did. She did. I mean, she kind of looks like a Sharon Stone.
Yes, I could see her. I could see if they did her hair or whatever that she could do a Linda Evans. You know.
So Melora, Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Dennis Haysbert. There's so many movies. So
Dave, I have some more Melora Hardin trivia.
Well, why don't you just impart that on us right now?
Okay.
Because it's not just me that gets to do all these great things on the podcast. Occasionally, you do.
I'm with you. Well, so we'll take you way back movie, Dave. Dave, do you remember a movie called Back to the Future?
I seem to remember Back to the Future.
Well, Dave, as legend has it, that movie did not start out with Michael J. Fox as the lead. I don't know if you know that. Eric Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz.
Yes, that is the legend. And actually, the movie started and they were in production. They had shot a few days. Well, Dave, this pertains to you, my friend, because we're dealing with Leah Thompson now. Okay? So Dave's ears perk up.
You talk about LT.
I'm talking about your LT. Your LT who you know from this movie as well as other things. But Dave, I got to tell you.
The star of Caroline in the City, LT?
The star of Caroline in the City.
Oh,
but she was once not Marty McFly's mother.
I don't think I could live in a world where she's not.
Okay, Dave. Here, I know, but here's what happened. Okay. Eric gets replaced by Michael J. Fox. If you don't know a lot about Michael J. Fox, I know you may have seen him play basketball in the Teen Wolf movie. But the reality is Michael J. Fox is about 5'2", I believe. Well, apparently, Melora Hardin was a little taller than that. And so
I think I saw her stats. She's 5'7".
Okay, well, as a result of her stature, and this was an era when I guess you couldn't have a girlfriend appear taller than the boy. So, even though they were just replacing Eric
Thank
Stoltz,
goodness times have changed, Dave.
Melora Hardin got the bathwater baby treatment when they swept out Eric Stoltz and brought in Michael J. Fox and your Leah Thompson.
Wow.
And that, my friend, is all we heard of Melora until The Office and Monk. So she was Michael Scott, the character on The Office. She was both his love interest at one time and his boss.
How many episodes of The Office was she in? Because I'm not I have not watched The Office a whole lot.
Well, I would say, I think The Office is about 10 seasons, 8. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd say she's in 50 episodes.
That's good. That's significant.
It's something. But Dave, let's get back to this.
Now we're back to 1997. We start out with Art Galore.
Art, what a great name.
Art Galore, and I don't think it was a love interest. She said, "I think you must be good with your hands." I didn't know exactly what that meant.
You know, that seemed to be a gratuitous. The star is directing the movie. Because, Dave, the other thing I wanted to note early on in this movie is, okay, let's say you're a master thief, okay? Do you need a black fedora? Do you need this like black, and Dave, not only that, he has the little flashlight he puts in his teeth. Okay, I get that. That's like cool. But Dave, he's walking around with something that's got about 8 D-size Everetties in it, and he's flashing it around in a home that no one's in. Now, that doesn't seem Master Thief-like, okay? But that's me.
You knew that he was going to get that one thing taken care of right at the last second. He never panicked. Panicked. No panic. Never panic. 10, 9, 8, holding the flashlight with his teeth. 7, 6, 5. I'd be reacting a little bit maybe, but he got it at 2. It wasn't 1.
Time to spare. Yeah, time to spare.
He had a second. There were some binoculars. It looks like he's delivering a pizza to a classroom at one of those buildings at Butler University. It's not Atherton, but what was the one where they had classes at Butler?
Right. It was like It was one of those science-related buildings,
well,
Dave.
I thought it was the one main one. It wasn't Atherton. What was that building called? Jordan Hall?
Holcomb was the one we had most of our classes.
Holcomb, okay. Holcomb.
Yes.
Yeah. Why can't I remember?
No.
But boy, there was a lot of jewelry at this house. I will say this: when he got and a lot of cash, a big old
lot of cash, very well organized.
Oh yeah, with those bills with the paper, I can't say that that's well. I mean, I should say that's about what I take to the Oaks to bet on Friday before the Derby.
Get around
couple
money.
of those, couple.
You know,
Get around my... I'm sorry.
you know, with that you might even do a parlay. You know.
Oh yeah, I take a couple of those suitcases along.
Oh yeah. No. There was this is a heck of a story.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. We'll talk a little bit about this movie and its plausibility. I think it kind of goes beyond plausibility in that I'm not sure the president of the United States would put himself or herself in that sort of peril. I would think there would be easier ways to philander.
Much.
I mean, you don't really have to go through all that if you're a philanderer.
Need to leave the White House, I would say.
Yeah, I think. But to go into the home of your best friend and carry on with his wife while the husband is in Barbados, and so the president just kind of walks into this building, and while a theft is being taken or a theft is taking place.
Yes.
So they're carrying on, and it gets a lot of it out of control.
It gets a lot out of hand.
And Clint Eastwood is just sitting there watching for what seems to be about 15 minutes with
a very long time. He's in a closet behind a two-way mirror, so he can see what's going on. They can't see him.
Convenient two-way mirror. I don't know how many of those you got at your house. I just have the one-way mirror.
I was going to say, Dave, I haven't had too many focus groups here, and that's why. Otherwise, I'd get a two-way mirror.
Let's put him behind a two-way mirror. So this is all. Is it all Balducci's fault?
He at least started. Yes, I want to blame him, but Clint Eastwood. Part of the story is that when Clint got the rights, he liked the plot and the characters, but apparently in the movie, all the characters he considered interesting got killed off. So when he had William Goldwyn work on the script, he said, everyone that the audience likes, don't kill him.
So an incident takes place, and it's very graphic. It's very violent.
Yes.
And so what happens is eventually, as the president is Gene Hackman.
Yes.
The woman is Melora Hardin, who we've pretty much gone. I mean, we could go over.
She's done this in other movies.
We could go over her entire discography, but we won't. So anyway, it's Hackman and Hardin in front of Eastwood.
Correct.
It gets extremely rough. I mean, Gene Hackman. Wow, this is one of his grisliest performances.
Dark. He's a bad egg.
He gets stuck in the arm with the letter opener. A lot of Godfather homages here. Kind of like a Luca Brasi, whatever. So he gets stuck, and then eventually, though, she is in control. And I'll just say it, folks. She gets shot by Secret Service.
Yeah, he lets out a noise, a whelp or whatever as the president, and then the Secret Service guys come in, based on that, and see her on top of him and shoot her.
Yeah. And so the letter opener is not the murder weapon.
Correct.
Don't think that it's the murder weapon.
Yes.
But anyway, so then the head of the chief of staff, Judy Davis, and two Secret Service guys, Dennis Haysbert and Scott Glenn, are the ones that play these Secret Service guys.
Yes.
They try to clean up the scene.
Yes, they definitely, yeah.
And what happens is we'll just kind of go quickly here. They leave, of all things, the letter opener that where he got stabbed.
Yeah,
they leave that there.
It's kind of clever in that his chief of staff shows up and she takes it. It's the bloody letter opener is in a plastic bag. She puts it in her purse. Then she forgets her purse. When they pick up her purse, it falls.
Yeah.
So then she gets outside. They're getting ready to leave. So the two Secret Service agents, bad egg president Gene Hackman, and the chief of staff, and she realizes I don't have the letter opener. And so they go back upstairs to get it. And Dave, what do they find?
Well, they find Clint Eastwood escaping via a rope.
Okay, so you're telling me, Dave, that Clint, who's got to be in his mid to late 70s, I would think around this time, maybe he had to be 70, let's say. The Clint character goes out the window on a rope, goes down, and then has to run. Like, he has placed his vehicle several through like woods and stuff away. The two Secret Service agents are running after him with night vision goggles to try to shoot him. And they can't get to a place to shoot him, but they do get the license plate off the vehicle.
And it's a stolen vehicle and does them no good.
Right. So, exactly. So nothing happens with that, Dave. But at this point, we introduce Ed Harris.
Ed Harris comes in and he investigates. And so the Secret Service agents, well, one of them, Scott Glenn, it gets, this is one of those movies. I didn't realize it was going to be that hard to explain, but there's just so many things going on. So
there are.
Let's cut forward. Let's go forward. Okay. You've got the Secret Service agents who are in pursuit of Luther Whitney, a.k.a. Clint Eastwood, or vice versa.
Yes.
So the Secret Service agents are after this guy. Ed Harris is after this guy.
Ed Harris is the Washington, D.C. police detective that's put in charge of heading the investigation, which they believe is a robbery gone wrong that turned into murder.
Then E.G. Marshall, who is actually the man who is married to, or was married to, Melora Hardin, Christy Sullivan. His name is Sullivan. So Christy Sullivan, his wife, and he's probably 80 at the time, and she's probably 42, 38, whatever you want to say. So I didn't understand this, but he actually hired a guy to go kill the guy that killed his wife.
Yes.
It was not an investigation. He didn't want to find the killer. He told the guy, and I didn't pick up on it the first time, but then I realized, okay, so now you've got three people going after Luther Whitney.
Clint Eastwood, who is not, I mean, this is part of Ed Harris, basically ends up coming to because Luther is known to be a master thief, and he's old, so he's one of the, I guess, usual suspects. So when Ed Harris goes to talk to him about this, he doesn't really think that Luther is a suspect because he doesn't think he's violent, right? And so that kind of gives a little.
Luther is pursued by these three people, and we meet his daughter along the way, who is played, his daughter is played by Laura Linney.
Yes. And she's good.
Laura Linney is good.
Good character.
And let's go a little on Laura Linney. Laura was on Frasier.
Yes.
She was on Frasier, and I realized there was something else about Laura Linney that I said, I know who, I've seen this lady, I don't know where. And so I had to look it up.
Okay.
It's a television miniseries that was near and dear to my heart. I actually, it's in my basement somewhere, the entire DVD collection of The Offering. I think it's one of the best things I've ever seen on television in the last 50 years. John Adams, HBO.
Yeah. Oh my God.
If not, and the thing to show just how brilliant I am, David. Okay, and I like to say that every once in a while. The opening theme just absolutely brings me to tears
Oh,
It's this driving American. Da, 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 da. I mean, it's like, oh, it just makes you want to, I don't know, lead a revolution against the British people. I mean, it just absolutely moves you. And then that ended up being like Notre Dame's college theme that year. And I go, yes, I'm not crazy.
They got it.
But anyway,
They got
not. Sorry, I
No,
I threw
Dave,
myself in
that's a quality. That's a quality miniseries, and it's also very real. Like, God, I remember David Morse plays Washington, and he looked like Washington, man.
Before
And
Hamilton,
John Adams.
before Hamilton, this, I'm sure the people at Hamilton, probably a couple of them watched this, but it was equal. I mean, I don't know if it, of course, Hamilton is Hamilton, but
well, different things.
But this was absolutely brilliant, and you could not keep from watching it. I couldn't wait till the next episode came
I
in.
still remember that the British actor that played Thomas Jefferson and all that. You know.
Anyway, Laura Linney played Abigail Adams. It's fantastic. I would imagine it still holds up to this day. Paul Giamatti. It was unbelievable. And when I figured out that she was in it, I go, my heart absolutely melted. I think it was like 07, 08. Anyway. Okay, go ahead. Laura Linney, Melora Hardin, salute. Where are we, Dave?
Where are we,
daughter.
Dave? Well,
She's
Dave,
the daughter,
I-
and she
it's
figures
hard.
she figures into the investigation prominently.
Right. And one of the things, too, that you see at the beginning of the movie is when they establish, or near the beginning, when the first time you kind of get the idea of Laura Linney is Luther's daughter, and then you kind of learn that he has been absent most of her life, and she has not seen her. Basically, she had not seen him for a year at the time that they are just, he's trying to talk to her. And you can tell that she's not really, at that point, he basically is saying, hey, I may be leaving town. And she's like saying, hey, I never see you anyway. So basically it's established that they have a troubled, if not distant relationship.
Man. And it really, from there, there's snipers in tandem, unbeknownst to each other. And one of them's got a bead on, and I guess if you're trying to look unsuspicious, wear a trench coat and a hat on a summer day. Nobody will ever suspect that anything is going on.
No, nobody would ever think anything.
Just do that. So anyway, the guy's got him. He's ready to go, and then somebody shines a mirror in his face. So that
everything
means
changes.
Yeah, everything changes. 2 shots that miss, wild scramble. The trench coat is left behind.
Yeah, very cool.
And Ed and Laura start to like each other. There's a beautiful scene with Gene Hackman and Judy Davis with the necklace. You sent it to me this afternoon. And they had quite a dance. Let's just say they talked about a lot of stuff, and then everybody applauded at the end.
Oh, it's such an intense scene because it plays out on the different levels. You get the intimacy and it's an ugly power dynamic, right? That is on display, and so it's hard to take a David Baldacci book, right, with a million twists and turns, and boil it down. But this movie does a pretty good job.
Yeah, we end up with David, what's his name? Dennis Haysbert, one of the Secret Service guys, ends up in a doctor's outfit.
Well, I mean,
real quick before that, we get the Silkwood thing. We get the Silkwood thing, and Dennis just drives by Clint Eastwood, who, that was the guy he was after.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why, but they wanted to send a message via the thief's Clint Eastwood's daughter, Laura Linney, a.k.a. Kate Whitney. So they drove her car, or they pushed her car off a cliff, and she liked to run near the rocks of some ocean thing and park her car like 2 feet from the edge. So convenient for the Allstate guy to just kind of run her off the road.
Yeah, this is wild. The thing about this movie, I'd seen it before, but the thing that I didn't remember, Dave, was that second Hitman. Like that was like oh crap.
The E.G. Marshall Hitman?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did not remember that from whatever viewing I'd had before.
And
so that was a big wrinkle for me. Like,
yeah, I think we get into things that if we revealed them, we would totally spoil the movie for everybody.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We can yeah, I mean from here it's really if you're a certain age, right? And you've seen a Clint Eastwood movie before and you enjoyed it. You probably will enjoy this one. It's it's not an action movie, but there's action in it. It's more of a character study that's got some humor in it too, that it's enjoyable. So this is one of those movies that's fun to take in.
I enjoyed it. We will be back to tie up some loose ends and tell you something you may not know about the movie's soundtrack next on the Crawfordsville Peachcast. Dave Peach here with Brandon Kappas from BK Home Improvement. And Brandon, you have an exciting announcement.
Yes, Dave, thank you. We are excited to announce Zahn's Floor Covering is now Zahn's Flooring and Design Center, acquired by BK Home Improvement.
I understand Bob Zahn will be staying to help.
We are excited to have that, and absolutely, Zahn's Flooring and Design Center is happy to have Bob Zahn still involved in that same local presence they're used to dealing with.
There has been a little confusion. BK Home Improvement is not affiliated with BK Painting or BK Property Management. You are located at your headquarters in Lebanon, Indiana.
Yes, we are excited to expand both brand names inside of both markets for Lebanon and Crawfordsville. Please come visit our showroom at 310 North Green Street, as we will consistently be redesigning and offering new, innovative products and technologies.
And you are still going to say,
Zahn's Flooring and Design Center. We are everywhere you walk.
Absolute Power, Untoasted movie number 56, 1997. Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, a cast of thousands, Laura Linney, Melora Hardin, two of our favorites. It all came together for a pretty decent movie. And David, did you watch the movie on Prime Video?
I should have. I actually watched it on Fandango.
Yeah, I don't have good luck with Fandango. It was $1 cheaper, but I went with Prime. The only thing about Prime is it wants to get you to that next episode for some reason, that next movie.
Oh yeah,
they don't want you to see you don't want to see well, I want to see the credits. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. I want to see the credits.
I have to hit hide. I have to hit hide. I have to hit hide. It's like, can I please see the credits? Because at the end, there's not much of a soundtrack in this movie.
No, it's in fact, if you looked it up, it's a lot of Clint.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Power Waltz and Kate's theme used in the movie soundtrack were composed by Clint Eastwood.
Which, if you know Clint, again, he is for many of his movies, some of which were very musically oriented. He directed Bird, Bronco Billy. There's a lot of music, and Clint is quite the pianist.
He definitely had some variety as far as movies go. So Absolute Power, 1997, our latest Untoasted. Looking ahead, the Untoasted calendar, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my G7 pen out here, and I'm going to cross off Absolute Power. Season 3, next up, I can't wait, Xanadu. Gene Kelly, Olivia Newton-John, Xanadu.
I can hear the music, Dave, right now.
Xanadu. And then Cliff Richard did a Suddenly the Wheels of Emotion. Now,
Cliff Richard, Dave.
We're going
to talk about Cliff Richard.
Sir Cliff, and a lot of roller skating. Xanadu, we'll talk about it next on Untoasted, Crawfordsville Peachcast, a 1980 movie. And I'm going to ask you one thing before we sign off.
Okay, Dave.
We mentioned this earlier. You thought it was 33, but it was actually 7.
That was high.
7 late 90s movies. Is there something about the late 90s? Because I know you're into that 87 pocket. I'm kind of in that 78, 79 pocket. And now we notice there's a cluster in the late 90s, which is, I'm pushing 40 at the time, late 30s.
Right.
Not my youth where you're going, I love everything. I love Edward Bear's last song. It's great. But anyway, Billy Don't Be a Hero. That was a great song.
Right. Bill
because
Donaldson
I
and the
was
Haywards.
13 years old. So,
Yeah.
But is there something about the late 90s?
I don't know what it is. It's funny because I look at, when I was a kid, I saw most movies that played at the Castle Theater in Newcastle, Indiana. Then at some point I get married and start having kids, Dave, and I don't see movies for a while, and then some of those movies show up on TV or whatever, early HBO or whatever that was. So I don't know what it is. If it, this is, I will say this, the late 90s the variety of what used to be movies that played at the theater was a lot more, and, we saw at the theater romantic stuff, action movies, thrillers. And this is when they were still spending, I think. So stars and stories were, I'd say, they were up there. Nowadays, you can see, unless it's at a certain level with a certain kind of star, you got one or the other. You can invest in a certain amount of locations and story, but you might end up with one star and a bunch of unknowns on your crew. So I don't know. It seemed to be a good era for movie making, and when I say that, I mean like films, more serious, and more of the fun stuff. So I don't know, Dave. We grew up on Porky's and Smokey and the Bandit. So what do I know?
Well, it was a good one. Absolute Power 1997. Next up, Xanadu. Dave, thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
That's the Crawfordsville Peachcast. We are sponsored by Central Indiana Rubber and BK Home Improvement and Zons Flooring and Design Center. We'll thank our good friend at Central Indiana on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello.
Todd.
Thanks for listening to the Crawfordsville Peach Cast, sponsored by Central Indiana Rubber Products. Join Dave Peach every week on Apple or Spotify. Please like, subscribe, and download the Crawfordsville Peach Cast. This podcast was produced by Up There Media and is a presentation of Force Broadcasting Digital.